Our relationship was never smooth sailing. There were times we almost ended it. One time we actually did, took a break for like months.
We were on a break!
We brought in insecurities, childhood wounds, unhealed trauma, cultural clashes, all of it without even realizing it.
If you click on this video, chances are you're just like us. Someone who deeply believes in their relationship, someone who's not just looking to get by, but to grow both in love and in life. So this is for you. And we hope these 7 biggest lessons from our past 10 years together bring as much value to you as they did to us. You are your first relationship. The most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. Most people get into a relationship hoping it will make them feel complete or happy, but no one else can give you the love and peace you need inside. That has to come from you. The way you treat yourself will show up in how you treat your partner. If you don't feel confident, you'll always ask your partner to make you feel better. If you don't trust yourself, it will be hard to trust your partner. If you don't feel happy with your own life, you will wait for your partner to make you feel good. That's a lot to put on one person, and it's not fair to them or to you. Think about this. Do you talk kindly to yourself? Or do you often think you're not good enough? Do you smile and show gratitude when someone gives you a compliment? Or do you try to reject it because you don't believe it? Now think about your relationship. Do you subconsciously feel uncomfortable when your partner says something nice to you? Do you always worry that might leave? Do you find yourself picking fights or feeling unhappy even when things seem okay? That's often a sign that you need more care, love, and healing inside. If you don't feel like you're enough, it's really hard to believe someone else thinks you are. There's a helpful idea called attachment theory. It helps explain how the way you were raised affects how you love now. It says the way your parents or caregivers treated you as a child changes how you act in relationships today. For example, if your parents were sometimes loving but sometimes not, you might feel nervous in your relationship. You might always ask, "Do you still love me?" Or maybe your parents were around but didn't really show much emotion. Then you might be very independent now and feel weird when someone tries to get close. You might not like asking for help or talking about your feelings. When I learned about this, I had a big aha moment. I thought like, wow, this explains why I acted this way in my relationship in the past. It really helped me understand myself better and also helped me stop blaming Joshua for some things. So how did I change? I started focusing on myself. I realized this wasn't just about our relationship. It was about me and my past. I needed to build a better relationship with myself first and foremost. I took care of my health both inside and out and started speaking kindly to myself. Instead of acting out when I felt hurt, I paused and thought about what I was really feeling. I started to practice mindfulness. I started to learn about philosophy and how our minds work so I could build the skill of pausing before reacting. And then something happened. My relationship got better. Not because my partner, Joshua, changed, but because I changed. When I felt strong and peaceful inside, I didn't need my partner to fix my emotions and my personal baggage. I could just enjoy the relationship for what it was. The more you grow resilient as a person, the stronger your relationship will become.
Your body is the engine of everything you do. Think of a car. The car needs a good engine to run well. If the engine is tired or broken, the car might still move, but it won't go far or fast. It might stop working when you need it most. Your body works the same way. If you feel tired, sick, or weak, everything feels harder, especially being kind, patient, and loving in a relationship. We've learned that most of our relationship problems didn't happen because the problems themselves, they happen because of how we reacted to them. And how we react has a lot to do with how we're feeling right now in our body. Here's an example. You remember that one night when you barely slept? The next day, everything felt 10 times more annoying than usual. Your body is exhausted, your brain felt foggy, your partner chewing too loudly or asking a simple question felt like a personal attack. What about diet and nutrition? Think about those days when you've been running on coffee, processed food, and sugary snacks all day. At first, you get that quick energy spike, but then you crash. Suddenly, you're exhausted, so unmotivated, and barely have the energy to get through the day. You don't even feel like hanging out with your partner at that point. And when your energy is low, what do? You withdraw, zone out, you get irritable over small things. Not because you don't love your partner, but because your current physical state simply doesn't have the capacity to engage. That's called survival mode. When your body feels bad, it puts all its energy into keeping you going. That means things like deep conversations, fun, or romance take a backseat. You don't have energy for them. You need to survive. You need to prioritize basic functions. And when this happens often, your relationship can start to feel distant, even if nothing is actually wrong. There's a study in the Journal of Health Psychology that found that couples who exercise together feel more connected, more attracted to each other, and more like a team. That's why you might see couples online working out together and looking happy. It's not fake most of the time.
Okay.
Moving your body really does help your connection grow stronger. So what can you do? Start with small steps. You don't have to change everything all at once. The little things really matter. Sleep better, move your body, go for a walk, stretch, dance, whatever. Eat one healthy meal a day. Start with breakfast or lunch, cooking something simple with your partner. Make it fun. Breathe deeply when you feel stressed. One thing me and Jada like to do is fast periodically. Whether it's 24 hours, 36 hours, and sometimes even 72 hours or further, it's one of our ways to really disconnect, let our body cleanse, and just get that overall mental clarity. And we advocate for it too. Do your own research. Don't just jump into a fast without being educated, because it is quite challenging, but I think you'll feel a lot better. It's a fast way to cleanse the body and reach ultimate clarity. When you take care of your body, you show up your best self. You're more patient, you're more present, you feel happier, you have energy to listen, play, and stay connected. And when you feel good, your relationship starts to feel good too.
Communicate to understand, not to prove who's right or wrong. Think of communication like an iceberg. You can see the tip of the iceberg above the water. That's the words being spoken. But underneath the water is a huge chunk you cannot see. That's where the emotions, fears, past experiences, and needs live. That's the real stuff you need to understand. If you only listen to the words, you miss what's really going on. You might end up fighting about small things like chores or tasks instead of understanding what's actually wrong here. Here's what I mean. If you argue about who's doing the dishes, it might really be about someone feeling unappreciated. If your partner gets upset when you reply late to a text, it might really be about feeling ignored or disconnected. So often, the things we say out loud aren't the real things we're feeling. There's something deeper underneath. And that's why good communication means slowing down and trying to understand what's underneath. But that takes curiosity, like genuine curiosity, and not defensiveness. There's a quote I like. It's easy to hate what you don't understand. That is so true in relationships. When you say your partner is too sensitive or too overreacting, whatever, you're pushing them away instead of trying to understand. But if you stay curious and ask, why are you feeling this way? You help them feel safe and you both grow closer. Here's a common problem we see. You're in a fight. Your partner is talking, but you're not really listening. You're just waiting for your turn to talk. You're planning your response in your head already. And pretend you hear them, but deep down, you're just thinking about how to explain your side. I'm so guilty on this. I've done it so many times. I'm still working on it. And it's one of the biggest reasons couples keep having the same argument over and over again. When someone feels ignored or misunderstood, the part of the brain that feels pain lights up. That means being emotionally shut down actually hurts, like physical pain. So what's the solution on this? The secret is listening to understand, not to win, period. Not to win. I know it sounds simple, but it's actually quite challenging. So let me give you some example of what that looks like. You don't interrupt. You don't try to correct your partner right away. You don't jump in with your opinion. You listen, you stay calm, you wait until they're completely done. And sometimes you don't even need to explain anything. You would just say, I hear you, and thank you for sharing. That simple act makes your partner feel safe, valued, and heard. When your partner doesn't feel like they have to prove their feelings to you, the walls come down. They stop trying to defend themselves And that's when the real conversation begins. That's actually when you both go underneath the iceberg.
Your relationship isn't just two people, it's two worlds coming together. Every person brings their own background, family stories, and life lessons into the relationship. These shape how we talk, how we show love, how we solve problems, and what we expect from each other. And when you're in an intercultural or interracial relationship, there are even more things to learn that can make the relationship really special, but also a little tricky. What feels normal to you might feel strange to your partner. What feels polite to them might feel rude to you. What makes sense to you might confuse them, and the other way around. Every culture has its own rules for how to love, how to talk, how to respect others, and how to deal with problems. Some of these rules are taught clearly, but others are just things we pick up without realizing. Let me give you a few examples. In some cultures, it's respectful to look someone in the eyes. In others, like Jada culture, Korea, it's seen as rude to look elderly people in the eyes. In some cultures, being quiet means you're being polite. In others, it means something's wrong or you're not being cooperative. Some people are raised to say, I love you all the time. Others show love through actions. Using words feels too vulnerable. Some families talk openly about feelings. Others believe it is better to keep your emotions to yourself. So all these differences don't mean one person is right or the other person is wrong. It just means you both learned things and now you're building a new way together. And here's a personal example. At first, I had a hard time understanding Jada's way of communicating. She's Korean. In her culture, people tend to be more direct than, well, Western people like me from Cali. If something was wrong, she would just say it. No sugarcoating or detouring. But to me, it felt harsh and sometimes cold, like she was mad at me. Also, she would sometimes ask the same question more than once. She's still doing that. It bothered me at first until I realized it wasn't because she wasn't listening. It was the language barrier. English isn't her first language. She needed extra time and effort to fully understand me and the words that were coming out of my mouth. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? See, learning about each other's background isn't a nice gesture. It's necessary for an intercultural and interracial relationship. Take time to truly understand where your partner came from. You'll want to understand the culture, the stories, and life experiences that shaped them. Don't try to make your partners do things your way. Instead of assuming they should change, get curious. Ask, why do you do it that way? What does this mean in your culture? Then build something new together. Take the best from both of your worlds and mix them into your own recipe. Make your own traditions. Create your own meaning. That's the fun part. Your relationship isn't about choosing one world over the other. It's about creating a world that belongs to both of you.
Conflict is necessary for growth in a relationship. Most people are scared of conflict. They think if you fight, something must be wrong, but that's not always true. Fights are not a sign that your relationship is failing. They can actually be a chance to grow closer if you handle them the right way. When you and your partner have a disagreement, it pushes you to talk, listen, and understand each other better. It can help you learn what your partner needs, and it can help your partner learn more about you too. Healthy couples don't avoid fighting. They learn how to fight in the right way. They don't fight against each other. They fight together to solve a problem. That's how trust gets built. That's how real connection grows. But here's a mistake a lot of couples make. They avoid hard conversations because they're afraid it'll lead to a fight or it'll lead to something else. But when you always avoid the hard stuff, you miss the chance to grow. You really miss the real opportunity to grow. Instead, the problems build up, you start to feel more distant, and soon, even small things feel big and painful. Think of it like lifting weights at the gym. Lifting is hard, but it makes your muscles grow, right? Fighting in a healthy way can do the same thing for your relationship. It takes reps. It makes you both stronger. When couples go through tough moments together and talk it out, their brains release a chemical oxytocin. It's known as love hormone. And here's the cool part. Oxytocin isn't just released when you hug or kiss. It also shows up when you solve problems together, like after an argument or when facing a hard decision. That means your brain sees healthy conflict as a bonding moment. It's like your brain is saying, we did something hard together and we still chose each other. This is love. So when you argue, but make up with care, comfort each other during stress, or solve problems as a team, you're not just fixing an issue. You're growing your bond together and stronger. Remember, it's not about if you fight, it's how you fight. So next time you and your partner hit a tough moment, do not run from it. Face it together, talk it through, listen with care, speak with honesty and intention, and come out on the other side even stronger than before.
You have to notice when you get stressed, and you have to know what to do about it.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Stress is not just a bad mood. It can sneak into every part of your life, even your relationship. Duh. It affects how you talk, how you act, how you listen, how you treat your partner. If you don't have healthy ways to deal with your stress, it can end up hurting the person that loves you the most, even if you don't mean to. It's not because you're a bad person, it's because your partner feels like the safest place to let it all out. That's bad. And sometimes that turns into snapping, shutting down, or blaming them. You had a rough day at work. Your boss was unreasonable, on your head, traffic was a nightmare, and your inbox is exploding. You walk to the door, and your partner says, "Did you think about how we can afford Ashley's music class?" And instead of answering calmly, you snap. "Can we not talk about this right now?" The mood changes. They feel confused. You feel worse. Another example, money is tight. You're feeling anxious and frustrated about the bills. But instead of saying, "I'm worried about our budget," you make a passive aggressive comment like, "Maybe if you didn't buy so much bullshit on Amazon, we wouldn't be broke." Now you've started a fight, but the real issue is stress. You can be polite all day to your boss, your coworkers, or even a stranger, but come home and snap at your partner. That's because people are more likely to take stress out on the people that they're closest to. Your brain thinks, "I can finally let go here." If you don't catch yourself, that pressure gets dumped onto your partner. And if this happens over and over and again, it becomes a pattern, a cycle, and that cycle can cause real damage over time. The good thing is, this can be completely avoided if you have the right tools. The goal is to not stop feeling stress. That's impossible. In fact, a healthy level of stress is actually good for you. It keeps you motivated, sharp, and resilient. One of the things that worked really well for me and Jada is actually saying it directly. So I'll say, "Hey, I'm having a tough day. I'm feeling pretty frustrated right now. I just want you to know because I might need my own space today to process it all." Boom, Jada gets it. She gives me the space to decompress on my own. What you need to do is communicate and give your partner a heads up. At the same time, by speaking it out loud, it also helps you understand what you need in the moment. Here are some of our favorite tools that help us tremendously. Go for a walk. Take deep breaths or do breath work. Write down your thoughts and emotions in a journal. Participate in a creative hobby like making music, painting, gardening, cooking. We love cooking. Move your body. Work out, do yoga, Pilates, rock climbing, hiking, riding a bike. Take a second break before you respond. Even just saying it out loud. "I'm stressed." Give your brain space to slow down and calm your emotions. Don't wait for stress to explode. Practice catching it early. Use your tools. If you don't have any,
Get some help.
start building some ASAP. It will help not just your relationship, but your life. For real. For real.
Working on yourself is one of the best things you can experience in life. You grow stronger, you feel more confident, you feel more authentic, but there's something really unique about growing alongside your partner.
You celebrate wins together, you overcome challenges together. When two people support each other's growth, they become a powerful team. You build a life that matches your shared dreams, values, and purpose. And suddenly, your relationship feels bigger than just the two of you. It feels like something you're building for the long run.
In science and business, there's something called synergy. It means two things come together to create something even better than they could on their own. That's what happens in a strong relationship. You each bring your own strengths, ideas, and energy, and together you build something better than you ever could alone.
That's right, Pohyun. There's a quote from a movie. We need a witness to our lives. We all want someone to truly see us. At the core of every human being, we want to feel seen, heard, loved, and remembered.
And when your partner becomes a witness to your life, your triumphs, your failures, and your personal growth and evolution, you start to feel one of the deepest connections possible. That's what true partnership feels like. Not perfect, not easy, but full of meaning and worth every step.
So if you're in an intercultural or interracial relationship and this video resonated with you, join our community. It's free. It's a space where couples like us connect, learn, and grow together.